So using a pair of dividers set on the radius that I want, all I'm going to do is do that. So now I've got the diameter of my chucking point done. I'm just going to put my chucking point on there, and I'm just going to remove the wood, still with the half-inch bowl gouge, down the side, okay? So it's not done yet, but that's the foot. I'm going to reverse the bowl round and turn the inside out. I'm going to true up the outside of the bowl now. So a little pull cut, really good. You can't see what's going on now. So I'll wait for him to move the camera around there, and then I'll go to here again. Oh dear. I was in Japan for a minute then. Right, so we're now going to get rid of some of this wood. So, if you came on a course with me, I'd want you to do a pull cut. The pull cut's the easiest one that you will find to get a shape. So what we'll be doing what I would call the wood turning shuffle. Okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to pick a cut up, and we're going to go round like this, and we're going to shuffle round the side. All the time looking at the profile that we're doing. Okay? Now, that's fine, but that requires quite a lot of effort, and that's good if you want to get that shape, and that's what I would teach. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a pull me, push you cut. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull to here. So I get to the point where I can't pull it round anymore, then I'm going to turn it into a push. Okay? So here we go. Here's a pull. And then I'm going to get to there, and then I'm going to turn it round into a push. Now remember, this is only a stock removal cut at the moment. So there's my pull. Into a push. So, what I've got there now is I've got a core shape. I've got a basic shape, albeit a bit ridged. So now we need to clean that up. So, different ways of cleaning it up. Once again, the long grind. We can close the flute off and use a bit more of the wing, which is starting to turn it into a scrape. Or we can do a shear scrape, like so, or we could use a shear scraping tool. Basically, you use whatever you have at your disposal. I will tend to do probably a bevel rubbing cut round with a smaller tool. So basically what I've got there is a simple shape, albeit probably with a little bit of tool now. It's actually a little bit there, but it's not too bad. So, I'm going to set the diameter of my foot now and do a finishing cut in there. And for that, I'm going to use a 3/8 spindle gouge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into there, like so. Always is a touch low for that cut. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a flat there. So that flat will become apparent why it's there a little bit later in the process. Hopefully. If I don't remember to tell you why there's a flat, make sure you do tell me, and I will hopefully be able to explain it. I'm going to reverse turn this bowl to remove the foot. So I'm just going to mark the centre like so. So that's the centre marked. And all I did then was use a skew, like an equilateral triangle, and just pushed it in like that. Okay, and now we're going to do some finishing cuts. So, finishing cuts. What we need is going to use a 1/4 inch bowl gouge. I like the 1/4 inch bowl gouge, traditional grind, okay, but it has got the heel taken off. So if you look at that, there's 2 bevels. It looks like I sharpened it badly. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pick the cut up here, okay, bevel rubbing, and then I'm going to flow the cut round. So I'm going to pick the cut up here and I'm going to flow the cut round. Okay, right, here we go. Now you can't breathe during this cut. So if you turn really big bowls, you've got a problem. Okay, and this is the cut that most people struggle with when they're learning to turn. Because wood's an inconsistent material, so if I force the bevel onto the work, the wood's going to bounce back at me. So it's an inconsistent material, so I have to get round there, and it's a real muscle memory cut. So when you're inside that bowl, turning away, and you end up with this spiral in the work where you've rubbed too much bevel, you want to be able to get that process right on the outside of the bowl. And that's one of the first processes I say to people. I say, you know, when they say I'm having problems inside the bowl, I say, can you turn the outside of the bowl well? And they say, well, I have a bit of problems there. Well, the outside's easier. So if you're having problems on the outside, you can have a lot more problems on the inside. We say that about sanding. You know, people say, you know, I have no problems with using coarse abrasive, but if you're starting with 80 on the outside of the bowl, what are you going to start with in the inside? 40? You know, so it is that idea that you need to work with the right. So all I'm doing is putting a little tiny flat there, and that will become apparent as well. So what we have there now is a perfect finish. It's actually pretty good. Did you reckon it's good?